In front of guests, he makes a joke about how she must love desserts more than she loves him. June smiles painfully. She murmurs, "He can never know." What illness is she hiding, and why? A husband mocks his wife's weight gain, unaware she's secretly battling a deadly illness to save his life, until one hidden video shatters everything he thought he knew. But we start the video. Let us know where you're watching this video. And if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe. Story Store, and please share your thoughts about this story in comment section. The wine glass trembled in June's hand as Cole raised his with a smirk. They were surrounded by friends, waiters, and laughter, but the chill in his voice froze her in place. "To my wife," Cole declared loudly, eyes glinting, "who's clearly been enjoying more than just my love lately. I mean, did someone shrink your dress or just expand the wearer?" Laughter. Awkward, uncomfortable laughter from the dinner guests. June's smile cracked but held. Her fingers clenched the napkin in her lap until her knuckles turned white. She hadn't touched the dessert, not even the bread. "Cole," she whispered, trying to keep her voice even. "Oh, come on, June," he chuckled, leaning in as though sharing a joke. "You used to be the one turning heads. Now it's more like turning tables, literally." The table erupted again, this time with forced chuckles. June swallowed hard, her cheeks burning. Her once sparkling blue dress clung too tightly around her midsection. She had avoided mirrors for weeks now. She knew the weight was showing, but he didn't know why. He couldn't. Cole went on, slicing into his steak. "I mean, if we wanted two of me in the house, we could have just cloned me. Cheaper than feeding all this extra, huh?" June stood. No announcement, no drama. Just rose from her chair like a ghost. No one stopped her. She walked out of the restaurant and into the freezing night, leaving behind the glow of candles, the murmurs, the wine. Her purse swung from her wrist, and inside it, folded so many times the corners had worn soft, was a medical report with one word circled in red: terminal. And beneath it, another line: donor match, spouse. Do not inform without patient's consent. She whispered, "He can never know." The night air bit at June's skin as she hurried across the dimly lit parking lot, her heels clicking against the pavement like sharp reminders of everything she wanted to forget. Her vision blurred with tears, but she kept walking, anywhere, as long as it was away from Cole. "June?" She froze. The voice was unfamiliar but oddly gentle. She turned. A man stood near a black car, holding something in his hand, her silk scarf. She hadn't even noticed it fall. "Sorry," he said, stepping closer. "You dropped this." June reached for it, confused by his expression. He looked concerned. But there was something else behind his eyes. Recognition? "Do I know you?" she asked warily. He smiled, a flicker of sadness in his face. "Not really, but I know you." Before she could ask what he meant, a car honked in the distance. The stranger gave her a nod and disappeared into the shadows. June stood there, her heart racing, not from fear, but confusion. Back home, she opened the door silently. Inside, she heard Cole on the phone, laughing. She stormed off again, drama queen. "Honestly, I'm getting tired of pretending she's still the girl I married. She's just not." June closed the door softly. Her hands trembled. Her body ached. But she didn't cry. She walked to their bedroom, locked the door, and pulled out the medical report again. Her thumb traced the circled word. Then her gaze dropped to the second line. "Do not inform the spouse." And now a stranger knew her name. The next morning, June sat silently in her car outside the pharmacy. She clutched a sealed envelope with her latest test results, marked confidential. She hadn't even told her closest friend, let alone Cole. Inside, the pharmacist glanced at her file, then frowned. "Did your husband request a copy of your medication list last week?" June blinked. "What? No, he doesn't even know I'm on treatment." The pharmacist leaned in. "That's odd. A man picked up your file, said he was family." June's pulse quickened. "What did he look like?" The woman hesitated. "Tall, brown coat, polite, had a slight limp." June's stomach dropped. The man from the parking lot. She left in a daze, envelope still clutched tight. Her mind whirled. How did he know her? Why would he lie to get her records? Back at home, Cole was on the couch watching football, shirtless and smug. "Don't tell me you're back on your clean eating phase. You've been gaining faster than your diet works." June stared at him. But not with pain. With something colder, clarity. She turned, walked to the guest room, and locked the door behind her. If someone else knew her secret, she had to find out why. And for the first time in weeks, June felt something stir inside her. Not fear, fire. June sat cross-legged on the guest bed, the envelope from the pharmacy still unopened, but she couldn't stop thinking about the man with the limp. Who was he? And why her file? Driven by instinct, she opened her laptop and accessed her patient portal. When she checked the activity log, her breath hitched. 2 login attempts from an unknown device. One had successfully downloaded a file, but not hers. It was Cole's. She opened the file and gasped. A genetic report, a donor compatibility test, date stamped 2 weeks ago. She skimmed the report, her heart racing. Cole was being screened as a liver donor. But he didn't know. June was sure of it. He couldn't even spell bilirubin, let alone sign up for genetic screening. Then how? A sudden ping. A new email in her inbox. No sender, no subject. Just one line. He's the match. But he wouldn't do it if he knew. Attached, a blurry photo of Cole's test results, and a picture of the man with the limp. She zoomed in. Her breath caught. In the background of the photo, an old wedding frame on the stranger's desk. Her mother's wedding photo. June's hand flew to her mouth. That man wasn't a stranger at all. June stared at the photo again, heart pounding. The man with the limp. He stood beside her mother in a wedding photo she hadn't seen in years. But that couldn't be right. Her mother had told her she never remarried after June's father died. June rushed to the attic, pulling down the old photo boxes. Dust filled the air as she dug through albums until she found the original frame, the same wedding photo. But this time, half of it had been torn off. Only her mother remained. She flipped it over. In faded ink, a name was scribbled. Thomas W. June whispered it aloud, chills spreading down her spine. Thomas. A sudden knock at the front door jolted her. She peered through the peephole. It was him, the man with the limp. Heart racing, she opened the door a crack. He didn't smile this time. Just said softly, "I shouldn't have stayed away." But I had no choice. June's voice trembled. "Who are you?" His answer hit like a lightning bolt. "I'm your stepfather. Your mother never told you because she was protecting you from what I do." "What do you do?" June asked. His eyes didn't blink. "I help people who are dying in ways the law doesn't approve." June stepped back, heart thudding. "You help people who are dying? How?" Thomas glanced behind him, cautious. "I was a medical researcher, off the books. I developed unauthorized gene treatments, experimental procedures that hospitals wouldn't touch. Your mother knew. She helped me." June's head spun. "She helped you break the law?" "She believed in saving lives, not in waiting for permission. She asked me to disappear after she got pregnant with you. She didn't want you involved." June swallowed hard. So why come back now? He held up a flash drive. Because you don't have time to wait. Your liver is failing faster than you know. The treatments I've built could extend your life, but only if we act before it's irreversible. And Cole? She asked, voice low. He's a perfect match, but he'd never agree, not unless it benefited him. So, I tested him quietly. For you. June's knees weakened. She clutched the doorframe. But I won't touch him unless you say yes, Thomas said. You choose. We do this the clean way, or the necessary way. June looked up at him, tears in her eyes. I only wanted to protect him, she whispered. And now, Thomas said gently, someone has to protect you. June sat alone in the guest room, the flash drive Thomas had given her glowing faintly in her palm. Inside it, her last chance at living. But the cure came at a price. She stared at Cole through the window. He was in the backyard sipping beer, laughing on the phone. Still unaware his body could save hers. Could she really accept help from a man who mocked her? Who hadn't touched her with love in over a year? Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Does your husband know he's being harvested? June's blood ran cold. Before she could reply, another message came. Check the car's dash cam. June ran to the garage, trembling, and scrolled through the footage. Her fingers stopped when she saw it. Cole. Talking to someone in the parking lot. Thomas. They were arguing. Cole's words were caught clearly. If she dies, I get everything. So, back off with your hero act. June staggered back, breath stolen. Cole knew, and he was waiting for her to die. She pressed her hands to her face, sobbing. Thomas had wanted to save her. But now, someone else had decided her life wasn't worth saving at all, and that someone was her own husband. June stared into the mirror. Her eyes were bloodshot, her skin pale, but her expression had changed. She wasn't broken anymore. She was ready. That night, she walked into the living room in a satin robe, one Cole hadn't seen in months. He looked up, surprised. What's this? Finally remembered how to be a wife? She smiled sweetly. I've been thinking. About us. About the future. He blinked. Suspicion flickered behind his smirk. She sat beside him, touched his hand. Let's make things official. I want to revise the will. Make sure you get everything if anything happens. Cole raised a brow. Now you're talking sense. June leaned closer. And maybe we try for that trip you always wanted. A last getaway, just you and me. He grinned. Guess you're finally coming around. But June's smile never reached her eyes. Later that night, she met Thomas in the park. I need one more favor, she whispered. Let him believe he's won. Thomas narrowed his eyes. What are you planning? June looked up at the stars, voice steady. He thinks he's playing me, but I want him to sign his own check. What kind of check? June's lips curled, the kind that turns into a confession. The next morning, June cooked Cole's favorite breakfast. Crispy bacon, French toast, and buttered eggs. He eyed the tray with amused suspicion. What's the occasion? She kissed his cheek. You, United States, and the will appointment today. He chuckled. Never thought I'd say this, but you gaining weight might have been the best thing for me. She laughed softly, masking the shudder under her smile. In her robe pocket, a tiny device blinked red, recording every word. At the lawyer's office, she played the doting wife, while Cole confidently signed the updated will. You sure you don't want anything left to your family? The lawyer asked. June smiled sweetly. My husband is my family. Cole squeezed her hand smugly. That's right. Once she's gone, I'll make sure it all gets used well. Later, as they left, June excused herself to the restroom and slipped the recorder into her purse. Back at home, she sent the file to Thomas, attaching one line: "Use this when the time comes." Thomas responded with a thumbs-up emoji, then added, "There's one more piece left to play. Be ready." June stood at the window that night, watching Cole sip whiskey in the glow of the TV. She wasn't afraid anymore. She was loaded and ready. 3 nights later, June lit candles, played soft jazz, and wore the red dress Cole had once said looked too tight. Tonight, she needed him relaxed, unguarded. He walked in, brows raised. "What's this? Another love attack?" June poured wine. "Just celebrating us. I've been selfish lately. It's time I start giving back." Cole sipped, smirking. "I've been waiting to hear that." They danced in the dim light. June whispered, "You were right all along. I've just been scared. But I'm not anymore." She slid a signed envelope into his coat pocket when he wasn't looking. Later, as he slept, she sent a message to Thomas. He signed it. "The confession's ready. Begin phase 2. The next morning, Cole woke to chaos. Police at the door, Thomas standing behind them with a folder. Cole shouted, "What the hell is this?" Thomas calmly handed over the recorder, the fake will, and the envelope June had slipped into Cole's pocket. A letter addressed to the authorities, in his handwriting, admitting he delayed June's treatment for personal gain. "Forgery?" Cole screamed. "She framed me." But June stood silently behind the officers. For the first time, he looked afraid. She leaned in and whispered, "I didn't frame you. I just gave you enough rope to hang yourself." The courtroom buzzed with quiet tension. Reporters filled the benches. The headline had already gone viral. "Husband accused of withholding life-saving treatment for inheritance." Cole sat at the defense table, pale and trembling. He had shaved, suited up, tried to look respectable, but the smugness was gone. June entered, her presence calm but commanding. The weight loss had already begun under Thomas's early intervention. Her skin glowed faintly, her posture stronger. The prosecution played the recordings. Cole's voice, "Once she's gone, I get everything." "She's not worth the expense." The courtroom gasped. Cole's lawyer tried to object, but the evidence was airtight. June's voice followed. "I only ever loved him. He just wanted to cash out that love." When Thomas was called to the stand, he explained the therapy, the forged confession, which was real only in strategy, not in content, and Cole's pattern of coercive manipulation. Outside, June's supporters chanted. Inside, Cole finally broke. "I didn't mean to kill her," he screamed. "I just wanted her scared enough to give up." Silence. The judge banged the gavel. Guilty of attempted manslaughter by medical neglect. June exhaled slowly. It wasn't just a trial, it was a funeral. Not of her marriage, but of the lie she'd once mistaken for love. Months later, June stood beneath the spring sun, her scarf fluttering as she placed fresh lavender at her mother's grave. "I made it, Mama," she whispered. Not just out of sickness, but out of him. She was thinner now, but stronger. Thomas's treatment had worked. Her rare condition was stabilizing. Her strength came back slowly, but her spirit, that had returned in full. The world had moved on from Cole's scandal, but not June. She visited the prison once, just to look him in the eye. He'd begged, cried, even asked for another chance. She had only smiled. "You once said I looked heavy. You never realized the weight I carried wasn't in my body, it was in my silence." Now, she had no reason to stay silent. With Thomas's help, June had started a foundation, The Quiet Weight, dedicated to women who suffered unseen abuse and hidden illnesses. Her story gave them courage. Her voice gave them hope. Thomas stood behind her at the grave, silent as ever, his hand gently resting on her shoulder. "You sure you're ready to go public with everything?" he asked. June turned, eyes fierce but kind. The world needs to know what survival really looks like. She walked away from the grave, not as a victim, not as a wife betrayed, but as a woman reborn. The man who mocked her body never understood her strength, but the world would.